So once again, thanks for coming to Let's Talk Wellness. My name is Jen Totten. I am your Virgin Pulse Wellness Coordinator, part of the Be Well team here. So what I wanted to start off with that we are going to be talking about today, let's see here. We will be talking about the power of perspective, breaking through the burnout here. So what we're going to be doing, we're here to talk about burnout and really the role that perspective plays in our lives, the state of your mind that you're in throughout each of your moment of the day, and the significant impact, really the decisions you make and the outcomes you experience. So, and life has so much, it's so fast paced, right? Sometimes hectic, and that could cause some serious strain. Also, too, we're on Zoom quite a bit, so we are having that Zoom fatigue, right? So it's really crucial that we could find a way to positively adapt all those changes that we experience throughout our day, even lifetime, and really find what's different with them and make it meaningful to them. So the intention of this webinar is really to get you thinking about different ways that you could approach your responsibilities, even better outcomes, feel more fulfilled within your journey. If you're constant stress, maybe you feel helpless, delusion, completely exhausted, you may be on the road to burnout. So that's what really this session is about. So let's just take some time to really reflect and learn about what you could do to really regain your balance and feel more positive and hopeful. Again, all this information is for you to take, whether it's back to a doctor, and everything is just here for educational materials. So today's agenda that we're going to be talking about is burnout, what it is, the signs and symptoms, the difference between stress and burnout, the causes and tips we could use to take action to prevent burnout throughout developing maybe higher sense of awareness, and also seeing where there's a space to really alter that perspective a bit. So when we could respond to stress and we could change with more grace and ease. Feel free to keep open up the chat for us. The Be Well team is on here to answer any questions you may have. And I do have some follow-up materials for you guys as well. So what I'll do here first, what is burnout, right? Burnout is really that state of emotional, physical, and mental exhaustion really caused by the excessive and prolonged stress. Burnout affects your work, it affects your home and social life, right? And really experiencing long-term changes to your body can make you more vulnerable to illnesses, right? We're hearing that Zoom fatigue, Zoom burnout. So yes, we're on Zoom, but I'm hoping that this could help you change something about your day-to-day life, that you could sit back and have a perspective. So you may be on the road to burnout if every day really feels like a bad day, or if you're caring about your work or home feels like a waste of energy. Maybe you're exhausted all the time. Maybe most of your day is really spent on tasks you find either mind-numbing or just dull, or just feeling very overwhelmed. If you feel like nothing you do makes a difference, or even maybe appreciate it, those are the different ways that burnout may be approaching. So your signs and symptoms of burnout, right? So we have your physical, okay? You have your physical, which is feeling tired and drained, maybe some frequent illnesses. You also too have headaches or muscle fatigue. So really, this is the negative effects of burnout spill over into every area of life, okay, including your home, work, and social. You also have your emotional burnout, maybe that sense of failure or self-doubt, okay, feeling alone, loss of motivation I mentioned a little bit ago. And then also to your behavioral, withdrawing some maybe responsibilities, procrastinating, turning vices to copes, skipping work, or maybe arriving late. So no, burnout is a very gradual process. It doesn't happen overnight. It could just creep up on you. And the signs and symptoms are subtle at first, but become worse as times go on. So think of the early symptoms as really those red flags, okay? That maybe something is wrong and something that needs to be addressed. If you pay attention to these different physical, emotional, and behavioral items, you could really actively reduce your stress. You could prevent a major breakdown. And if you do ignore them, you could potentially maybe have a burnout. Okay. So I mentioned stress versus burnout, right? So right here, burnout may be the result of unrelenting stress. All right. But it isn't the same as too much stress. All right. Just think about that. Stress by and large really involves maybe too many pressures that demand too much of you physically and mentally. However, stressed people can still imagine that they could get everything done and under control, and they'll feel better. Burnout, on the other hand, is not about being enough, right? Being burnout means feeling empty, feeling mentally exhausted, being not motivated here, and beyond caring. All right. People experiencing burnout often don't see any hope of positive change in their situations. And if excessive stress feels like drowning in responsibilities, burnout is a sense of being all dried up. Okay. And while you're usually aware of being under a lot of stress, you don't always notice burnout when it does happen. Okay. Stress does involve too much, and burnout is just not enough. Okay. So really, stress is characterized by overengagement, while burnout is really characterized by disengagement. Okay. Especially this past year, we all had to test our stress and our burnout. Whether it's you're a parent, whether you're caring for a loved one, know the difference between stress and burnout. Once you feel that disengaged, you might be a little burned out. And we're going to go different ways that we could address that stress and the burnout. Okay. So really, I want to just mention here is that anyone really that feels overworked or undervalued is at risk for burnout as well. Okay. But burnout is really not caused solely by stress, a stressful work, or too many responsibilities. Other factors really do contribute to burnout, including your lifestyle and personality traits. And in fact, what you do in your downtime and how you look at the world could really play a big role in causing overwhelming stress at work or maybe home demands. Okay. Recognize that maybe all stress is negative. Recognize that not all stress is negative. And when you talk about stress in the context, with those factors, really take the energy away and cause the stress in our daily lives. Okay. So let's next talk about what are causes. We mentioned work, right? Work-related causes of burnout, including feeling like you have little or no control of your work. Maybe a lack of recognition, right? As some of you guys are maybe people managers, we want to make sure we recognize our colleagues and recognize our employees of their work that they are doing. Reward for the good work, whether it's unclear or maybe over-demanding job responsibilities and expectations. Doing work that's monotonous or unchallenging, and working maybe in that chaotic or high pressure environment are definitely causes of burnout. All right. Some lifestyle changes. I think we all could say this past year being home with our family and loved ones, taking care of the kids, whether they're in school or not in school yet, definitely could cause some burnout. Working too much, working without enough time or socializing, having that lack of close or support relationships could be a cause of burnout. And just having that not enough help to support. I will say, like, having my mom as my support for my two kids who are 4 and almost 3, she definitely helps me to get to that burnout point. And the reason why I could present to you guys without any interruptions. So know that there is a support of, family and friends to help you to cause you not to have a burnout. And then the last part that I also mentioned is personality traits, right? You have little or no personality traits can contribute to burnout, including being perfectionist tendencies, pessimistic views of yourself and the world, and you just need to be in control. Okay, reluctant to delegate to others, and high achieving type A personality. Those are definitely the causes of burnout when you want too much on your plate. That I mentioned, and then you can't see the end in sight. All right, so now we want to know the cause. Now we got the causes, but what can we do to approach that overcoming burnout? Okay, so whether you recognize the warning signs of impeding burnout, you're already past that breaking point, try to push through the exhaustion and continuing as you have been, right? Only to cause further emotional and physical damage. Now is the time really to pause and change direction by learning how you can help yourself overcome burnout and feel healthy and positive again. So there's 3 R's, okay? The 3R approach. Recognize. Let's recognize and watch for those warning signs that we just mentioned. We want to reverse. We want to undo that damage by seeking support and managing stress, knowing I will be talking a little bit about your EAP that could assist with some stress management. And then the 3rd R is resilience. Take care, build your resiliency to stress by taking care of that physical and emotional health. Resiliency has been out there. It's been a buzzword in the industry, in our daily lives. There's a lot of great programs that PSE is doing for resiliency. One is Bounce Forward that I will discuss, but resiliency will take care of this physical and emotional health for you. Okay. So now we just talked about your approach, right? So when you are burned out and problems maybe feel so immersible, everything does look bleak, let's take that approach and maybe we could take control of those stresses easier than you could think. There are positive steps that you could take to deal with overwhelming stress and get your life back into maybe a balance. Having more of this present moment awareness throughout each day means to monitor and attend current experiences rather than predicting future events or dwelling in the past. So I did mention this on April's Let's Talk Wellness when I was talking about breaking through burnout. Okay, so this is called really a follow-up from April's, and I will send this that link too from the previous session back in April. We talked about our body posture, right? If I'm hunched over here, I'm caved in here, I'm not ready to be present. I want to be my shoulders down and back. I want to be nice, tall and strong, and I want to be present in the moment. We talked about deep breathing exercises, maybe breathing awareness exercise, box breathing, affirmations, mantras, and just really everyday mindfulness to help you with that present moment awareness. Okay. So once you take that time to really focus on all those different ways that you can really be more aware and be more mindful throughout the day, it becomes easier to observe and change that perspective. All right. So the ability to reframe a situation is an important skill that you can really transform your life. All right. So some examples maybe are positive thinking. All right. Positive thinking is really an emotional and mental attitude that focuses on the good and expects results that will benefit you. All right. So really think about those ideas and really think about those thoughts, anticipating happiness, health, and success. Okay. Another one could be storytelling. Storytelling really is to say, reframe maybe the way you look at situations, find that balance in your life, focus on the parts of your life that bring you joy. And I do have an exercise for you at the end of this. Another way, the power of perspective is compassion, right? Being helpful to others that delivers the immense pleasure and can help to significantly reduce the stress, as well as broaden maybe your social circle. Okay. Connecting with others. That's another great one as we're all emerging from this post-COVID right now. Connecting with others, that social connection, obviously making sure we are doing it safe, but connecting with others is such a powerful part of our lives, right? We definitely have missed this for the past year. Time management, another way for perspective. Set your boundaries. Don't overextend yourself. Learn how to say no to maybe that request on time, right? If you find this difficult to remind yourself that no allows you yes to some commitments, right? That could maybe help you. Take a break from technology. I said Zoom fatigue, right? Zoom fatigue is very real, right? We want that in-person feeling. Take a break from technology. There's a reason why there's PTO, there's time off. We all do need that for our mental health. And I just recently had one where I took a break from technology. I didn't check my email. I didn't check my messages. Really just turn off your phone, stop checking email, completely disconnect could really help you put that perspective into place. It actually was last week when it was 80 degrees. So I went down to the beach. I live here in Middletown, so I went to the Bay Beach, and you look at New York City from my beach, and it's just so nice. I just sat back, thought a couple of different items, which is part of my writing activity for you later on, and you just feel that perspective, and everything else kind of just washed away. So nourish maybe your creative side, right? Prioritizing your self-care, making exercise a priority, reduce your sugary options, okay? That does have a chance with our mental health, and avoid ingredients that maybe negatively impact your mood. And then my last but not least, like I mentioned, my writing activity, which I do. Feel free to grab a piece of paper. Feel free to pass a piece of paper, your phone, or in your chat. Is up to you. I want 3 questions. One thing I could do today to take care of myself. The top 2 most important things I need to focus on are, and the third one is 3 things that I am grateful for. I'll be sending these questions in this writing activity with my follow-up notes. So I will, and I have a little post-it note on my computer here. So I could always look back at those 3 questions. So one thing I could do today to take care of myself, and that was I got on my bike for 30 minutes this morning, all right, my physical activity. The top 2 most important things I need to focus on are, I will say, my family, and then also to my nutrition that fuels my body. And the 3 things I'm grateful for are my family, my friends, my job, for you guys. I get that power from you guys, and I hope I give that to you. So those things I am grateful for, as I hope you guys are too. So feel free to take those 3 questions at your own time. I do have some great resources for you, which are this help guide, some burnout and treatment. It's helpguide.org, and some 5 mindful exercises and practices for you. Now, this is your first Let's Talk Wellness. We do have a whole Be Well ground team available to you, whether it is a all hands call, a staff meeting, or a huddle. Feel free to tap into any of us. We could provide a 5-minute mindfulness session. We could give a presentation just like this, whether it is for 5 minutes, 10, 15, 20. We are available for this type of presentation. And then couple other things I do want to call out before we are ending is your Beacon Health Options. This is your EAP provider. It is a confidential service available 365, 24/7. And the website is go-to.mybeaconwellbeing.com. This is for New Jersey employees. You could book an appointment online. You have 6 consultations free to you at no charge, virtual or in person, and they're available for you, okay, for anyone in your household. And then for our Long Island folks, you do have CCA at your service, okay? Same thing, which is myccaonline.com, using your access code PSEGLI, okay? And before we close it out, I did want to just make a note that we have our Bounce Forward, which is part of resiliency. It's part of getting post-COVID, getting right past this. So this has been a multi-week transformation opportunity, really for you and your family. Whether you want to focus on some reflection and coping, really connecting in the relationship aspect, reaching out for help, celebrating life, and also to giving back to those in need. So we have some great opportunities for you. We actually have an event today, which is going to be Your Health Means Everything, which is highlighted by Livongo and our South Plainfield local inclusion team. They're sponsoring this. So it's a conversation how to feel your best and get back on track. So feel free to go ahead and register. You have information within your link. And then we do have another presentation on June 1st, which is all about racism and model the minority. So what does diversity mean to the Asian community? So please check that out within the link to register. Those are some great 2 sessions, but if you have missed any of the Bounce Forward sessions, you could view the entire schedule and replays available to you. This is hyperlinked, so once we are done today, I will send this back out to you. So you could always click on the link to register or view the replay. And last but not least is our Unity concert. The Unity concert is happening on June 3rd. All right, we have some great talent at PSEG, let me tell you. So this here is going to feature employee performances, really messages from the senior leaders, and opportunities for you to support the Employee Crisis Fund. Okay, this will count as employee volunteerism. And we're just looking to get past that post-COVID, really understanding, coming together, and having, let's see if I can play this for you guys. And coming together, some great information coming through here. I am going to give you guys a new share. Feel free if you guys have any questions, I would be happy to answer them. But in the meantime, let me actually share them. Let me share you guys with our teaser. Let's see here.
Sometimes you think the rules for being happy just don't apply
Well, I hope you guys saw some of the excellent, Unity concert. That was a sneak peek of it. Stay tuned for, let me get back to my slide. Stay tuned for June 3rd. It is happening from 6 to 7 to feature these great performances. And then I owe you guys the Be Well point code. This is here your 100-point Be Well point code for attending today's Let's Talk Wellness. Here, if you go into your account, go to Home Rewards, and the top right corner, you'll see Redeem a Voucher. Input this code right there for you guys. And that's A0YP. We had little issues last time. The zeros and the O's look the same. If there's any questions, I'll be happy to answer them. Fantastic. And then we do Let's Talk Wellness every Tuesday, 12:30 to 1. So if you said, yes, I'm in on Virgin Pulse within your calendar or the card, you probably received my calendar invite for today. So keep on coming. We had some great participation. I saw 26 at one time. So thank you guys. And I know that there was another event happening at the same time. So I appreciate you taking the time to come in to maybe reflect or could change something so we really don't get to that Zoom burnout. So thank you guys. I'll keep this up here. If anyone needs to jot down the code, feel free to.